we will have a look and show an example how to create a new blog post. So for us, a blog post is nothing else than just a normal page, so website. So what we're going to do is we create a new website. What we essentially need to create a new site is the path. So that's the URL of this new page. And this would be our blog post. So this is actually the whole path of this website. So we don't have any auto-generated path depending on some hierarchy that we would attach this page to for various reasons. There is also other content on our website on why we do it this way. So what we would need to do now is to save it, and then if we want to access it, we need to publish it. And then we can just go and visit this page. As we can see right now, there are no components to render because we did not add anything. One important thing is that if we are in the production environment, since those websites are pre-rendered, for every change that we do, we need to re-render it. There's a button below here, re-render page, that would do this. So keep that in mind. So now we want to do, we want to add a component. So one typically used component in a blog post is the rich text component, where we could add our main headline and some text about the content of this blog post. And then what we want to do is we want to align this. For blog posts, what we would use is layout centered. And then we might also want to add some margin top. Margin, and then we can, for example, take margin medium. And then once we save that and re-render, reload the page, yeah, basically shows what we have here. So what we typically then have as the next component would be the table of contents, which would be here. And then the title, we can leave it empty, but we just name it table of contents, content of contents. To be honest, I'm not sure. And then we also add some margin. So margin medium would be on the safe side as well. The layout would be also layout centered for this component. So we save it, and then what we see is the table of content, which is empty. So the table of content would always show the H2 and H3 headlines within rich text components. So what we will do next is then again add some rich text. So here we could, for example, start off with an H2. And this would be our first headline. And then we can grab some rule ipsum text. Just to make it look a bit better. So we would just copy this text and then add some text here, and then we add some headline, more headlines, add some text, and then we have another H3. This is important as well. Other text, and then we go to the next part of the blog post. The next part, and this, for example, contains some code snippet, which we could use with Markdown like this. So some function that, yeah, I don't know, just return something. I don't know, that's not important here. And then here as well, we would use some margin, take it medium. And then this would also be layout centered because it's a blog post, and there we would always have the centered layout, which is better, yeah, to have like on cases where you would have a lot to read, which obviously is the case on blog posts. So now, as you can see, we have our table of contents and we have those headlines. So now what we want to do is we want this blog post to be also visible on this blog preview section. And in order to do this, there are some ways, but on this page, what we would do is we would add this tag blog to it. And then on this blog page, we have a page preview that filters for every page with the tag blog. And then once we open it, as we can see, here is the new blog post, which in this case does not look too good. And the reason for that is it doesn't have a title. So this is our blog post. So if we save it, remember that also for this you would need to re-render the blog page if you're on the production mode. So now we see the title, and then we can add some synopsis, which is like the most important part of this content of this page. So this would be this is what the page is all about. And then what we also want to do is select the image. This is also for the preview. So we would just add one that exists already. Would save it. Of course, it's also important to add SEO. So for a page which would live in productions, always important and required to also add this SEO component and fill in the fields. If we reload it now, we would see the blog post. We can also add more tags. So for example, we have here the tags Our Journey in Content Management. If we want to add more tags, we can just add a tag, and then we would, for example, name it, I don't know, React. And then it automatically creates a slug, and then you automatically have a page with /tag/React, which would show all those pages. You would select this true because you want to see it actually. Let's save it, and then if you reload, you don't see it here because we haven't added it yet to the page. So this is the new post we are working on. We add the tag, as you can see. Here's the new one. We see the block, for example. The block tag is an invisible one. We just use it to structure content. And now we can see there is a new tag called React. And then, for example, if we click it, we have like this tag pages automatically. This is how you would add your new blog post to the blog page. And that's more or less it, how you create a blog post, and then also on our specific example website, how to add it to the blog overview.